good to see you all again. We didn't see each other for a few days, like 2 or 3 days. It seemed forever, but I'm glad it's Monday. I'm glad it's Monday. We are back, and let me kick off this show with my introduction, and then when Lee is ready, she will introduce herself. My name is Sarah M. As a co-host here. I am from Cambodia. I grew up in the countryside. When I have a chance to attend college, I was away from home, from my hometown and from my family. And then this horrible thing happened in Cambodia. You probably remember that. It's the killing fields, where when the communists came in and they destroyed our country, they turned our life upside down, and my life had never been the same. I was trapped, I struggled, I endured the horrible time for 4 long years. But I can say this, I'm grateful that God was with me. He saved my life and he protected me during my escape. I escaped a few times, but I was safe. I'm here. So that's all it matters. So um, life is a journey, and it's all a, a series of new beginning. I have new beginning many times, and today we are going to talk more about the new beginning and new series in our life. But I am grateful that I landed in United States, and I'm so happy that I'm here, and I met wonderful people, and never look back. And I have my book. It's sarahim.com. That's I record most of my journey, and you can find that book on my website, sarahim.com. That's it. If you ever need somebody to inspire your group, you look for speakers. Lee and I are available to come over. So just reach out to us.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Maybe sometime you can get two for the price of one, both of us.
Yeah.
Well, just kidding. On the note, I am also was a former refugee. I was the country that neighbor to Cambodia. So I was born in Vietnam, except I'm not Vietnamese. I was the minority Chinese that who have my adoptive country as Vietnam. So I was a minority in Vietnam. And we also escaped out the communists in 1979 after 4 years of living with the oppression, oppressive force of communists from the north. And we went out as an outflux of the boat people refugee that in the late 70s and early 80s that a lot of people heard here from the United States. If you're too young to even know what boat people is, then you can go Google and look it up. But it was a massive exodus from people that had just sail out to the sea without a destination or without anything in mind. So why Sarah is fighting in the jungle, my family and I was swimming out in the ocean, hoping that somebody will, we didn't really swimming, we were on the boats. And that's what we call boat people. But we were hoping that somebody is going to rescue us. And lo and below, pirates and you know, broken engines and near death and all kind of good stuff. But we did get to the land, and we were in Indonesia. And I specifically asked them that if we can go to Hawaii, but they love us so much that they say that we're gonna give you a little taste of the cold winter here. So they shipped us to Minnesota, where we took that as our beautiful home for 6 months before we run away to Pennsylvania, which is another cold country, which we didn't know. But anyway, I am here now in Florida, very happy with the tropical climates, like where it's very similar with Vietnam in a sense. So here we are on this platform. We invite people to come and tell us about their journey, their mission in life and what they have done that to fulfill that dream and wish. And the theme of January is about new beginning. And we have Linda here help us tell us the story about how her life journey and how she inspire women across the board from young to old. And I love her title of, I think on her website, women have needs too. Yes, we do. We're
Yes.
always giving, we're always nurturing, we always, and you know, people think moms always, you know, or any female in the family is always good to give. Yeah, but we do have needs too. So I love to have Linda tell us what she come up with and share with our audience about her journey. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you so much, Lee and Sarah. I really appreciate being here today. And you two have such dynamic stories. And I can't wait to have you both on my TV show.
Oh, wow.
We have Sarah scheduled. We need to get you scheduled, Lee.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes. So I had a TV show back in the 90s, and it was called Life Skills, and it only ran for 13 weeks. It ran on a cable station. And I had a mentor at the time who said, you really need to gear this just towards women, because that is a great niche for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to help everybody. You know, I just want to help everybody. I don't want to just concentrate on women. But then, of course, you know, move forward several years. Now it's 2012. I'm going through a divorce, and I'm making my bed on a Saturday morning, and one of my favorite songs comes on. And I don't know if you have a favorite song and you sing along, but you don't necessarily hear every single word. But
Right.
This hit me today, that day back in 2012. And he said, it was a Matchbox 20 song, and it was Rob Thomas, and he is a great lyricist. And he said, I know you have needs too. And I'm flapping my sheets. Damn straight I have needs too. And I just started bawling, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
And because we do, like you said, Lee, as women, we are taught to give and to do for others. And it's a beautiful thing. And my business is all about giving back and giving to others. But the point I'd like to make and to help women is that we have to take care of our needs as well. We can't depend on anybody else to take care of our needs. It's not anybody else's job to take care of our needs. We can't look for somebody else to take care of us. We can look for somebody to love and to love us back, but not to take care of us. We need to be independent women and figure out, if you don't know what those needs are, then we need to step back and figure it out. If it takes writing daily about your daily activities and then thinking about them before you go to bed, or thinking about, you know, I remember lying in bed while I was single and going through that divorce, is thinking, you know, what do I want? What do I need? And it takes some time. We get so busy, and we go through our day. We get up, we are taking care of the kids, we're going off to work, we're coming home, we're cooking dinner, we're getting the house straight. And then before you know it, we're getting ready for the next day. And we don't take that time to sit there and think, what did I miss out on today? How can I make tomorrow better? And that's my message. How can I make my tomorrow better?
And that is beautiful, because many times, I mean, it is a universal pain that people don't even have time, like you said, to sit down and recognize it. And then the next thing we know is like, oh, we're 30, we're 40, we're 50. It's like, where does the time go? How come I didn't do anything for myself? I put people through this and through that. And you know what? And that's resentment. And that's what my book is saying about things about, you know, I finally realized it too at some point, because you cannot give unless you have it. And when you don't have it, when you're empty, there's no way you can give. And maybe you give, you borrow from somewhere, you give, and you're in the deficit zone, and you're going to be resenting yourself, you're resenting the people. And it takes us to a point that we're wise enough to realize that. So I love and very appreciate the title and the message that you have out,
Thank you.
because that's exactly what I am saying to myself and other women too. As much as we want to be generous, you know, we
Yeah.
got to recognize that we can't
Right.
give unless we have.
And not only that, I believe it's our job to lift other women up.
Right.
You know, so many years, and I think it's a lot better today than it was when I was younger. You know,
Mhm.
women wanted to keep the other women down because they
Right.
wanted to go to the top or they wanted to be better. But I think the community, the female community has come a long way. And I do believe that we are lifting and we are putting that hand out to the other woman and saying, you know, you can do this, you know, and I can help you. And
Right.
that's, you
And
know,
this
that's
is
my job.
rewarding. It's
It's very
rewarding.
rewarding. It's very,
Yes.
and the thing is there's enough success to go around for everyone. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
there's, I was taught, you know, there's always going to be somebody better off than you, smarter than you, and prettier than you. But there's also going to be those other people that aren't as smart as you are, that don't have as much going for them as you are. And the thing is you don't look up to those people. You can learn from everybody. You can learn from the ones that don't have as much, and you can learn. I was taught to treat the president the same as the janitor. And so you can learn something from everybody and you can help everyone you meet.
And I think God is really good. He doesn't give one person everything. You know, if you're pretty, then you have some other weakness that you need other women's help. So for me, I think that you are so right in the sense that we women have been smarter, I think, for the last 10, 15 years,
Right.
because we have more networking. It's just not men that going out to, you know, buddy together. But now I think the networking forces that sisterhood and women that helping women, and it's just booming. Even now with the
Yeah.
Zoom platform, you know, you can go any networking group, and I belong to a lot of women's networking group, and I think that those are the sisters that lift me up, and
Yes.
I want to inspire other people to lift them up. So I really appreciate what you do, and also what you're doing for the younger generation, like you are mentoring. And from what I'm reading, so I want to hear the rest of your story, if you can tell me like your journey. So it was great that hear the right song at the right time,
Yeah.
give you the right idea. So how did you start? How did you get from
Whew.
that idea to whatever you have now?
Yeah. So, you know, things don't happen overnight, right? And that
No.
was back in 2012. And I love music and I love sayings and I love shirts. I've always said, I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. You know, I've been saying that since I was in my 20s. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. I'm going to put it on a license plate. I'm going to put it on a
Right.
bumper sticker. You know, I'm going to put it somewhere when I think of something clever and cute.
Mhm.
So after I finished crying that night, that day I was, you know, making the bed and, you know, slapping the sheets around. I thought, oh my gosh, I need to put that on a shirt. And so that was the original idea, to put it on a shirt. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, what are the needs of women? And the bottom line is the needs of women are different from you to me to Sarah to everyone that's watching.
Right.
Everybody has different needs. Now, I may have had that need back in 2012, but
Mhm.
now at 2020, you know, I have evolved and I have different needs. Okay. And same as you and everybody else watching. So just because I don't have that need today doesn't mean that I didn't have it in the future or in the past, and I won't have it in the future.
Right.
I spoke to a woman earlier today who I'm going to have on my TV show, and she wrote a book with no money. She wrote a book with zero money, and sweet, beautiful story. And she and her family were homeless. And I got to thinking, well, you know what? I was homeless at one time, and I didn't think of it as being homeless because my husband and I and our son, we were able to move in with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. We slept on the floor in a bedroom. We split up, And we were there for a couple months until we found a place to live. But, you know, being homeless isn't fun for anybody, you know?
Right.
And we were in a comfortable situation, but not everybody who's homeless is in a comfortable situation. So I feel like I've had a car repossessed back in the 90s. You know, I've had a car repossessed, you know, and then I was riding my bike to work. You know, I've been through a lot in my life. I haven't experienced everything, but I've experienced a lot. And God is good, Lee. God is good. And he will answer prayers. He doesn't do it on your time, though. He does it on his time.
Right.
That's right.
He does it on his
That's
time.
right.
And you have to be patient. But I don't recommend praying for patience, because he'll give you some trying times to teach you patience.
Yeah, I always say that going to pray with a plan.
Yes.
You got a plan, then you pray about it.
But whenever I make a list of things that I want to accomplish, I start from the end in mind and work my way back to right now, to this moment.
Right.
I don't start with where I am now and where I want to go. I start with where I want, what my end results. For each conversation I make, for each thought I have, I start with the end result in mind and think my way back and act my way back. And one thing that I've always said, I don't know if it's my thought or not, but I've always said, if you think, say, and do with love in your heart, it's hard to go wrong. And so I like to spread that message, you know, think, say, and do with love in your heart. You know, when people say, well, how do I say, you know, I'm upset about something. How do I say? Well, if you say it with love in your heart, then the words will come to you.
Right.
You know, the actions will come to you.
Right. So how did you take from that message on the t-shirt to where your empire right now?
So it started evolving every month, every week, every month, every year that went by, more ideas would come to me. And at that time, I was working a full-time job, traveling around the country. I was working a lot of hours, and I was single now, so I didn't have really a savings account to speak of. And I wasn't going to take out a loan, or I couldn't take out a loan at that time. And so I didn't start the business right away because of excuses, because there's ways to make things happen.
Right.
Even when you have no money, excuse me, even when you have no money, when you have that dream, if you can believe it, you can achieve it.
Right. So the business is?
So the business is Women Have Needs Too. And I started with my shirts, and this is one of the shirts.
Oh, wow.
And it has the W on the front, and it's two high heels that create the W.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
then
I see it.
This is one of my new shirts, and it says, Women Have Needs Too. Right now, I need wine. Because sometimes we need wine.
We do. We need grape juice.
Yes, and this one says, this is the W on the front as well. Some women think it looks like wings, and I say, well, it can be wings. You can fly away and become exactly what you want. And this one says, Women Have Needs Too. Right now, I need chocolate. Yeah. And so
that is so cute.
A bunch of other shirts that just say Women Have Needs Too. And they just have the logo on it, but they'll be evolving. And
so do you have a storefront, or you have an online?
Women Have Needs Too, it's online, womenhaveneeds2.com.
Okay.
And there you will find my TV show, which has the resources in there. And the resource page is being built now, and they will be coming online this week. The resource page will be coming online. You'll see blogs for the people that I have invited onto the show to help women and inspire. The whole show, the whole business is about inspiring and empowering women to live their fullest lives.
I love it.
To find the resources here, everything from, you know, how to pivot your business, you know, in 2020, how to look at your finances and see how to finance your business, and ideas like that. There's everything on there that you could think of. Inspiring women that have been through so much. A woman had a woman on the show that talked about this jungle, these group of jungle women, mostly women. There's some kids, the children in there too. And she took on this as her philanthropy project. She does mission work for this group, and because that country looks at them as animals, so they don't take care of them, and they barter them with sex and rape. And so this woman has taken over this village to help them and to build them, and
Wow.
let them know they are human beings and that
Wow.
they're not animals. I mean, it's hard to believe that in this day and age that there's actually that type of civilization who are looking on a group of people as animals and not treating them as human beings. And it just breaks my heart.
It is. I
So
mean,
and it's inspiring to me to see a woman like that who found something like this during one of her mission trips and took it upon her. We can make a difference. We can all make a difference in the world, if it's just with one person or taking over a whole village and trying to help them become human.
yeah, absolutely. I think, if you can influence one person next door, your community, do it. And if you can get to a bigger capacity, now's the time. On Zoom, you can actually influence a lot of people across the board, the country, the nation, the continents, like
Everywhere.
the possibility is endless.
International. One of my interviews was with a woman who's out of London, England.
Mhm.
And we did a Zoom interview with her from London, England. And she spoke about a relationship breakthrough. Her boyfriend had broken up with her, and she thought it was the end of the world. And then she realized that she wasn't loving him for the right reasons. And she had an emotional breakthrough, and she said it was the best thing that ever happened to her. So we go through these trials and tribulations in our lives that we think are just so devastating.
Yeah.
Like the two of you have been through. I could not even imagine going through what the two of you have been through, but you survived and you're now thriving. Like you say, I love the title of your show. It's just a beautiful thing, surviving to thriving, and you are thriving in your world and you're helping other women thrive. And I just think it's so impeccable. It's just a beautiful.
Well, thank you. And I think, to go around the theme of our January, I mean, we can always make a beginning at some point, because whatever we're ending,
Yes.
no matter how tragic it is, I think in a sense, we get to step back and celebrate that and say, now is the time for the beginning. Now is the time to rebuild.
And my new beginning started March 13th. I was laid off because of COVID. I was in the hospitality industry. And when COVID hit, it shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, because I used to travel all over the country for hospitality because of trade shows and conventions. And there weren't any meetings, no face-to-face meetings going on. And March 13th, I was sitting right here. I actually called my boss. He didn't call me. I called him because I knew what was going on. And I'm like, I was just calling to get a pulse, get a pulse on what what was happening. And he said, and he started little talk.
Get the bomb drop on you.
He was just small talk. And then the bad part is, and I said, yeah, I knew it was coming. And I sat here, I called my husband and told him, and he said, babe, it's time to start that business. I hung up the phone. I called and emailed the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and got my U.S. and Trademark patent going right then, that day. I did not let grass grow under my feet. I just hit the ground.
I can't wait to read your chapter, because, by the way, everyone, we just have a common thread here. Linda and I are co-author in this compilation book. It's called Top 25 Florida. Top 25 Change Maker, Florida Entrepreneur. What exactly? How Florida Entrepreneur Thrive During Challenging Times. Right? I think I got the title.
It's very close. If it's not it, that's close.
It's coming it's going to be published at the end of February, and I can't wait to read. There's 25 of us in there, so there's 25 stories, and I can't wait to read yours.
I can't wait to read yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes bad things or unfortunate things happen for a reason, because we need to just, sometimes it's good to abruptly end that thing instead of lingering and let it
Oh,
drag on.
I could not get this business out of my mind since 2012. It was just
Right.
hanging on my heart, and I knew I had to do it. I have an uncle, and it's in my book. I don't think it's in my chapter, but in my book that I'm writing, I discuss it. That my uncle, he used to say to me, he said, Linda, your greatest regret will be to not live up to your potential. And so that has
Absolutely.
hung over my head my whole life. He's been telling me that since I was a teenager. And
Yeah.
so you will regret, your biggest regret will be not living to your fullest potential. And that's
Sometimes we
why
need to hear that more than one time, because I'm sure every single one of us have heard something, but it's sometimes is not the right time yet, and or we're not smart enough or
we're
wise
not
enough to
ready.
act, or ready enough to absorb that. And I think, we are all here, Sarah and I and you. I think it's the time that we just say, okay, now is the time. We are in the position to be able to give back, to
Yes.
have that authority to influence others to do the same thing that we did, because we were grinding all this years too. I mean,
Yes, yes, working hard, but it's not enough to work hard. You have to work
right.
smart. And here's the thing, if you are working in what your passion is, it never feels like work.
I know. I'm sitting here and I'm talking to people days in and days out, and I enjoy it. It's just like either I go out, but I can't go out now. So I'm pretty much locked in, and I don't feel like I have restriction to anything, because I see you, I see Sarah, I see a lot of other people across the nation, across the ocean.
Yes.
But so this is really a good inspiration message for anyone who want to start or have an
Good.
inkling idea about trying your business, or start writing a book,
Yes.
or do
And
anything.
I am open for phone calls, emails, texting.
Yeah.
If there's any way I can help anybody who's watching, call me 813-833-2872. My email is Linda@Women Have Needs Too. If
That's easy to remember. Women have needs too.
That's right. But if anybody needs any help, if it's something that if it's something that I cannot help you with, I will put you through to a resource that can help you.
Mhm.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Linda.
Yeah,
And
I recommend that you put your link at the bottom after we finish our conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, when we finish. So
Can I put it in the chat right here or not?
yeah, you can not the chat on Zoom, on the Facebook page.
Okay.
That way people can see it, because on the chat on Zoom here, when we close out, it's not there anymore.
Wonderful.
But yeah, well, thank you so much here. I mean, this is such inspiration, and your store, your online store is doing well. And I just love all the funky clothes and all the messages.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it is just really nice to see that you are thriving during the time that most people are struggling.
Yes.
So opportunity is out there everywhere. I think we just need to grab it and
Well,
claim it.
the one thing I do want to tell women who are starting is that it's not easy. It will be the most difficult thing that you've ever done in your entire life, but it is probably the most rewarding, other than having kids. I think that's probably extremely rewarding, is having my child.
Yes,
But,
I
yeah,
agree.
but this is a new kind of baby. It's a
Hmm.
new kind of baby because you're giving it life.
Right.
You're giving it life, and you're giving it to the world, just like having a child. But it's just like 9 months and the hours of labor that
Yeah.
you go to deliver a baby. You go through that difficult work when you're starting a business, and you will want to give up 1,700 times, maybe per day. and
Yeah.
just keep on pushing forward and reach out for help. Make that
Yeah.
phone call a friend and say, I want to quit. You call that friend that you know that says, you are not quitting. You are worthy and you have something important to say and important to do for the
And
world.
we women very good in supporting that. And I
Yeah.
have a handful of people that always cheer me on, and I'm there to cheer them. So go ahead and have your COVID baby. Go
Yeah.
ahead and have your
Yes.
COVID baby. I mean, it can be any form. It doesn't have to be a little baby that need feeding and changing. I call that my baby, my COVID baby. You can have a COVID baby of a business, of a a new career, an online anything. The sky is the limit. And reach out to people if you need collaboration, you need partnership. There's plenty out there. Everybody is looking for something new, something exciting to do. So Linda, thank you so much. I know our time is limited, and I would love to have you on again at some point.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe sometime a few months later, or later in the year, just to see how your business have taken you and what level are you on. But thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's just been a joy. And I just love the both of you. I can't wait to have you on my show and learn more details of your story
Oh,
and how you survived and the things that you had to survive, because I'm sure you have some amazing details.
Yeah.
well, it's a lot. That's why we can't just talk. I mean, we got plenty of topics to talk, but
I
yeah,
bet.
our books are pretty much the one. That's why we need to write it, because
Right.
it's impossible to talk. But anyhow, thank you for being here with us,
Thank
and
you.
we'll be in touch again.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. So Linda, just hang around. We're going to talk a little bit in the backstage, but thank you, everyone.